Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Join us as we delve into yesteryear, not only for interesting and important happenings, but to possibly even answer questions you don't know you have. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. That I'm going to pull up here as soon as I find it. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yes, this one here. Alright. Anyway, for links to those sources, the music in the background, and anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander. Today I'm joined by
Golden Loon.
Welcome to the show. It's just
Thank
us
you.
two today, right now, currently at least. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe someone will drop in.
Yeah. Well, we also have the viewer, whoever's watching, so we go +3. Oh, yeah. Anyway, today is Moon's Day, Monday.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. August 24th. No, August. What the hell? Wow. July. What? I'm already okay. Wow. I've gone off the bandwagon of having correct month names now. July 24th, 2023. Let's get into the history today, shall we? We have the Battle of Nocerda in 1132. The Battle of Nocerda between Randolph II of Elif and Roger II of Sicily. All right. So Roger has been around for quite some time as a name. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Then we got the Siege of Damascus in 1148. Yeah, okay. The Crusaders, led by Louis the 17th. Yeah, it's 8. Yeah, wait, 5, 6, 7, 7th. Wow, why was I thinking? My brain's just not working today. Louis the 7th of France and Conrad III of Germany laid siege to Damascus during the Second Crusade. The siege was abandoned later on the 28th of July. I guess was Damascus abandoned? Something was abandoned.
I don't know.
In 4 days' time. That's pretty quick for a siege.
Yeah.
So
He went pretty quick. Wasn't working, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe they figured out that they couldn't fully do it or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, 1525, we have the second attempt to circumnavigate the globe as 7 ships departed Corunna, headed by Garcia Joffre de Loasia, on orders of King Charles I of Spain for these Spice Islands. Only one will make it. Whoa.
Jeez,
That's scary.
That was something, when they were trying to sail in those days around the world or whatever they're trying to do.
Uncharted waters, here be dragons,
That was the second
attempt.
I wonder when the first one was.
Well, let's look. First attempt to circumnavigate the globe. Here we go. Magellan. Well, no, he was the first one to do
make it. Yeah.
Who was the first?
No.
No. Well, this first explorer to attempt to circumnavigate. It tells me. So, all right. Well, we don't have the time really to go down this rabbit hole. So I offer this as a challenge to the viewer. If you do wish to educate us in the comment section, that'd be great. Anyway, we're going to move on to 1534. We have French explorer Jacques Cartier claimed for France the lands around Gaspé by erecting a 30-foot cross at Point Penolia. However that's pronounced.
Yeah.
All right. 1567, Mary Queen of Scots was forced to abdicate. Her 1-year-old son became King James VI of Scots.
1 year old?
Wow. Well,
jeez.
Yeah, look, that's he's looking pretty mature for a 1-year-old.
Oh, that's a whole thing going on. He abdicated and became.
Well, she was forced to abdicate.
Yeah.
Because the whole Scottish England thing, this was during the time when England was trying to take over Scotland still, or they already had or something. But the Queen of England was cousins with Mary Queen of Scots.
Okay.
They were related, as a lot of these royal families generally are. I don't know exactly what happened. There's a movie, and I tried watching it. It's rather boring, but I gotta try to watch it again. But it's about this feud or something between the two, and then the Queen of England eventually executes her, Mary Queen of Scots.
Wow.
Yeah, she got executed. Actually, here, let's see. Decapitation.
Jeez.
So yeah.
Not good.
Sibling rivalry, and you toss in royalty with that, and actual power, yeah. You'll kill your cousin. Hell, people will kill their parents these days for $1. So it's crazy. Anyway, what do we have here? 1651, Anthony Johnson, a free black U.S. citizen, a former slave, or not a former slave, but a free black guy, received a grant of 250 acres in Virginia. Oh, Virginia of all places. Whoa. That's interesting.
I wonder why he was granted that. What made him?
Because see, if you have money, you have power, and there were, black U.S. citizens with money. There were black U.S. citizens with white slaves in the United States. They don't talk about that.
I've never heard of that in the United States. I've heard of white slaves before, but not here.
Oh yeah, no, there were white slaves here, and there were black slave owners. So, it's not always whitey. Anyway, 1660, Great Fire of 1660 in Constantinople. 2/3 of the city was destroyed, including 280,000 wooden houses, with a death toll of around 40,000. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow.
Constantinople, yeah.
Well, that is a great fire indeed. Let's see here. In 1683, we got the first settlers from Germany to the U.S. left aboard Concorde. Huh. Well, that's way before the U.S. 1683. We weren't even fighting yet. It was another almost 100 years.
No, but there were settlers to come to the U.S.
No, that we weren't the U.S.
We weren't the U.S. That's
yeah.
Shouldn't be that.
So to America.
Yeah.
So. Then in 1684, expedition to establish French colony in Louisiana left La Rochelle with 4 ships led by René Robert Cavelier. Sieur de la Salle expedition was disastrous with only 15 survivors. Yikes.
That's not good.
No, it's not. 1701, French trade rand soldier. What rand soldier? What the hell does that mean? Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac. Founded trading post at Fort Pontchartrain, later became the city of Detroit. Hey, happy birthday, Detroit. But hey, look, Cadillac. I wonder if that's any relation to the automobile guy.
I don't know. I have
no, I mean, seriously,
yeah.
Maybe his grandson, because, of the fortune that he, Cadillac and then his son have made, he had the money to start a luxury car company. Or I'm not sure how the story is, if he started from rags to riches, or if he was of money or what. But that gives me an intrigue. Because, truth is stranger than fiction, and we have found examples of, people being related to people, in certain ways and whatnot. Anyway, we got here George Washington elected in 1758. George Washington was elected to Virginia House of Burgesses representing Frederick County. So he was in politics. He was just representing a county or something when they were still colonies.
Yeah, when they were colonies. Yeah.
1783, Georgia, the country, not the state in the U.S., became a protectorate of Tsarist Russia. All right. And 1793, France passed the first copyright law. Now I wonder, if that's the first copyright law ever, or if that's their first copyright law. So let's see here. First ever copyright law, May 31st, 1790. And this is just before that. So here we go. The first copyright law is enacted under the new U.S. Constitution. The new law is relatively limited in scope, protecting books, maps, and charts for only 14 years. These works were registered in the United States District Courts. So, copyright law was written into our Constitution. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Never thought of that. So that has to be specifically France's first copyright law. So, question answered. 1799, William Clark was willed the slave York, who would go on to accompany him and play an important role in the Lewis and Clark expedition. All right. That's interesting. Can you imagine, gaining ownership of a human through the will of someone who died? That's wild.
That was common.
Yeah. And while that was happening...
They inherited slaves, absolutely.
That's a terrifying thing to think about. But speaking
and
of...
there was limitations. You couldn't get rid of them in some cases.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah.
That's mean.
You couldn't free them or anything like that. I mean, not according, not by inheritance, but by the law of the land.
That's mean. That's wild. You own a person, but you don't have the freedom to get rid of them. What the hell is that? My brain hurts thinking about that. Anyway, speaking of slavery, 1823, slavery was abolished in Chile. South America. Look at that.
Yeah.
All the way back in 1823. Let's give some kudos to our Latin American brethren.
You got it done. Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. 1 year later, we got the first public opinion poll. 1824, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania newspaper published results of first public opinion poll with a clear lead for Andrew Jackson. All right.
Good polls. Good Lord.
Polls. 1832, Benjamin Bonneville led the first wagon train across the Rocky Mountains by Wyoming South Pass. Huh. Cool.
Well, here's another question. Is name used for the Bonneville Salt Flats? That's in that same area.
All right. Let's see here. Namesake for Bonneville Salt Flats. Bonneville Salt Flats. Densely packed. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. Wiki. Let's check this out here. I'm gonna give about 10 more seconds trying to figure this out. Environmental concerns, land and speed effects. What's it? Geologist Grove Carl Gilbert named the area after Benjamin Bonneville, a U.S. Army officer who explored the Intermountain West in the 1830s. So what was that name? Benjamin Bonneville. And this was Benjamin Bonneville. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Look at that.
Area. Yeah, that area that they're talking about.
I mean, like, what did I just say? Yeah. You know, like, things are connected weirdly. There you go. Well, that's not really a weird connection, but still, like, you know, cool. Going from a Benjamin to a Brigham, 1847, Brigham Young and his Mormon followers arrived at Salt Lake City, Utah. All right.
Yep.
1847, rotary type printing press patents received by Richard Mark Ho, New York City. Rotary type printing press. So like you just like spin it on a thing and then you press.
Yeah.
Instead of like having to take everything out, put things back in.
Yeah.
So interesting. 1851, the long-hated window tax was abolished in the United Kingdom. You know, we've spoken about this window tax. You see this picture here, how some of the windows are bricked up?
Oh, yeah.
I think I've spoken with you about it, but just to give you a refresher, and anybody listening if they don't know, there was, and it wasn't just the UK, despite the Brits loving taxes, apparently, but France had it as well, and I think other European countries, did this. You got taxed based off of how many windows you had in your, on your house, in your business. So, you go to like older buildings, you see a lot of windows bricked up because that doesn't count as a window anymore, so you have a less tax. Isn't that maddening? Like, we are taxing you on the amount of sunlight you're getting, into your domicile. Excuse me? No.
Yeah.
So... anyway, let's see here. 1866, Tennessee became the first Confederate state readmitted to the Union. Hey, Tennessee, where I'm from. Oh, where I was born, at least. So.
True.
Yeah. So awesome. 1870, first trans-U.S. rail service began. All right. 1877, first time federal troops are used to combat strikers. Well, they should not be combating strikers. Why is it turning into violence? Why is it always turning into violence? Like,
sometimes the strikers start the violence too.
That is true. That they start the violence because nobody's hearing them. They're people too. They have mouths to feed.
Yeah.
I got it. These fat cats at the top, with their like exorbitant wealth, they can afford to pay people better. 1880, first commercial hydroelectric power plant in the world began generating electricity in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Ooh, it's pretty big. First commercial hydroelectric power plant.
That's something.
Yeah, all the way back in 1880.
Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, you talk about nuclear power plants, all right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, such super advanced technology. No, it's just boiling water to spin a turbine. That's what it is. It's literally nothing different than a coal mine in actual how it operates. It's just a substance that produces heat, boils water, creates steam, and spins a turbine. It's that simple.
You always need power to generate power.
Yeah.
Or energy, I should say, not power.
Yeah.
Energy and
so you burn coal.
What do you call them? Water wheels down the river. The energy is the moving water.
Yeah. Like for mills and whatnot.
Coming from the turbines. That's probably where that original thought is coming from.
Well, I mean, that's how the Hoover Dam works.
Yeah.
I mean, when you peel it back, things that sound super complicated are really, really simple.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on up here. In 1893, for the only time in the history of the U.S. Tennis Championships, an event was held off the Eastern Seaboard. Men's double championship in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Whoa.
All right. 1901, Ryder O. Henry was released from prison in Austin, Texas after serving 3 years for embezzlement from a bank. Only 3 years. How lucky.
No kidding.
Speaking of which, did you hear, what was it, Seattle? I think it was Seattle, released a serial killer early. I have yet to watch that video. I was just like, oh my god. 1902, in Turkey, the Sultan Abdülhamid, under pressure from within the Ottoman Empire, appointed a commission to consider reforms that might pacify Macedonian revolutionaries. Mm-hmm. Yep, and it's like Turkey is like right next door neighbors with Greece. They're right there. A lot of people don't think about that. They're right there. Like, Xerxes in the 300. They're right there. Let's see here. Lawn tennis, whatever. Biorko Treaty. 1905, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia and Emperor Wilhelm II of Germany signed the Biorko Treaty, whereby each country agreed to come to the other's defense if attacked by European powers. Oh, all right. Russia and Germany, playing friends, as they did at the start of World War II, which didn't end well.
Empires were not going to last much longer.
Yeah. What else do we have here? 1908, after days of discussion with his ministers, Sultan Abdülhamid of Turkey announced he is restoring the liberal constitution of 1876 and will become more responsive to demands of dissidents. So actually doing what your people are asking of you? What a concept, huh? Well, yikes. Some people are just don't understand how the world's supposed to work. 1900, I'm not even going to read, this is disgusting. 1910, Matador Juan Belmonte the 18 killed his first bull. Bullfighting and such, that is so, why is that still around? I know it's big in Mexico, but why is it big in Spain? I
think that's the original of it.
Well, yeah.
They brought it from Spain to Mexico.
Yeah. It's just, how do you find, killing an animal entertaining? Are we no better than the Romans?
Well, it's fighting the bull, not the kill at the end is what it is. But the sport of it is the fighting the bull.
I don't know. I just don't like it. Anyway, 1911.
Bullfight?
No. I'd like to go to a rodeo, though.
I've been to a bullfight down in Tijuana.
1911, U.S. explorer Hiram Bingham discovered Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas. Oh, yeah, that went all the way up there.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's so well preserved, actually, because there's still, almost as if it was fresh paint. It's still, some of it still has its color, I think. Because the air, the temperature thing, it's not template. It's something.
The altitude?
Yeah, well, the area is so high, the air is dry, so it keeps things preserved. And otherwise, things would have eroded.
Yeah.
Over time. There's a lot of still, good structurally solid, blocks up there and whatnot. Moving on up to 1917, we have the trial of Mata Hari. Trial of Dutch exotic dancer Mata Hari began in Paris for allegedly spying for Germany and thus causing the deaths of 50,000 soldiers. Yikes. Mm-hmm. Yikes. Well, if she was guilty of that, may she rot in hell. If she wasn't, then, then she's in a better place. Because 50,000 soldiers, I understand war is war, but, yikes. What else do we have here? Let's just go on over here. 1929, U.S. President Herbert Hoover proclaimed Kellogg-Briand Act, which renounced war. All right. Okay, and 10, 11, 12 years later, we're going to get attacked by Japan. 1929 plus 12 equals 41.
Yeah.
So, yep. So much for that. What else do we have here? 1931, George Gunn gets 183, and son of a gun, George Vernon, 100 stars, same innings. That sounds...
what?
That sounds like cricket, yeah. But son of a gun? That's awesome. We got 1933, German judge Volt signed deed of accusation against Marinus van der Lubbe for setting the Reichstag fire. All right, yeah. This was Germany's false flag to blame the communists.
Oh.
They burned down their own.
Is?
Yeah, well, the Reichstag caught fire, and then they blame communists executed for the Reichstag, so they were blaming the communists because the fascists hate the communists. Like they just do not get along. They're both horrible, but they hate each other. Which is good. That means that they're weak, they're divided. But yeah, no, they burned down. Germany burnt down the Reichstag, which is their capital. They burnt down their own capital, and then blamed the communists. And this is 1933, mind you. So this is steering Hitler's massive rise to power.
Yeah.
So he's just like, oh, look at what the Bolshevik are doing to us. Blah blah blah. Bolsheviks, were Jews and all that stuff. So you're blaming the communists, blaming the Jews. Burnt down their own capital. I'm surprised, our country hasn't tried anything like that yet.
Could be coming. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. As a historian, I've seen what's happened, and I see the roadblocks to repeating history, and it scares the shit out of me. Anyway, 1934, the first ptarmigan hatched and reared in captivity in Ithaca, New York. Okay, so it's like a little bird. So the first one that's, like born in captivity, and survived, I believe. 1935, first greetings telegram sent in Britain. Whatever greetings telegram is. 1935 as well, the world's first children's railway opened in Tbilisi, USSR, Soviet Union. Oh, well, I'll be damned. The Soviet Union made the first children's railway.
What's a children's railway?
That is a good question. Like, wouldn't that be like the little railway they have in the malls and whatnot?
That doesn't sound like it makes sense.
So it's one of the children's railway or Pioneer Railway is an extracurricular educational institution where children interested in rail transport can learn railway stuff. So it's a
school.
Yeah, kind of not really a school, like more like a discovery center.
Oh, okay.
Type thing. But I'll be damned. The first one in Russia of all places, in Soviet Russia. That's interesting. 1937, Alabama dropped charges against 5 blacks accused of struggle snuggle in Scottsboro. Yeah, that was going on. 3 years later, 1940, first illegal newsletter of Peter It Hin, published in Netherlands, whatever that is. 1941, FDR demands Japanese troops out of Indochina. Yep, and remember, like in about half a year from now, what's going to happen?
Yeah, Roosevelt.
Yeah, well,
FDR.
You hate him.
Yeah. Super leftist.
Well, I mean, like, he really got us through the war. Like, but see, that makes me think, because, you're talking about, like, super leftists and such, and with how, that's, that wing of that branch of the government operates, these days and such. He won 4 terms consecutively.
Yeah. That
makes me wonder, did they steal the elections back then, or am I right with everything is a fabrication? Because they, what if he was the person that they wanted and they just kept winning? I don't know. That's all conjecture and conspiracy, but it's something to think about. Because of him in his 4 consecutive terms, we had to rewrite things and reduce and provide like a maximum term limit, which is 2 for the presidency, as well as do revisions on other things. And we used to vote in January. Now we vote in November. That's when that change happened as well. A lot of changes. Really interesting.
Could be because of weather too. You get back east, November.
January's
a lot worse than November.
Yeah. January is in the heart of it. November is just getting started. Yeah. Let's see here. What?
I was just gonna say it's early November too.
Yeah.
It's right after Halloween.
Yeah, true. High Noon. In 1952, we have High Noon, a U.S. Western film directed by Fred Zinnemann, starring Gary Cooper and Thomas Mitchell, was released. All right. I'm not sure if you remember that movie or anything. I'm not sure.
I do remember it. Western movie.
Was it good?
Yeah. It's hard to say. It's been so many years. I just remember the snippets of it. Well,
here's something interesting. 1958. Ted Williams was fined $250 for spitting at Boston fans again. What?
Not good.
Why are you spitting at people, bro? You're not
especially the paying customer.
You're not a camel. Come on. 1959, the 500,000th Dutch TV set was registered. All right, cool. 500,000 TVs in Dutch, wherever Netherlands area. But I saw here, 1958, to go back a little bit, 14 people named first life peers in the UK. What the hell is a life peer? Like, what is a life peer? Is it like marriage or something? A peer whose title cannot be inherited. Okay. Okay, in the United Kingdom, life peers are appointed members of the peerage whose titles cannot be inherited in contrast to hereditary peers. This is confusing, but I'm going to add this in the underbar description post-stream, of course. What?
So it can't be passed down through generations.
Okay. Yeah.
The next one's cool.
Royalty and all that stuff is very baffling.
I remember this.
1959, U.S. Vice President Richard Nixon argued with Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev in Moscow, known as the kitchen debate.
Yeah.
So what was it, like about blenders or something?
No. He brought over, look at how great we are, and he brought over the newest and new stuff for the kitchens. He had a whole modern kitchen. And Khrushchev kind of called him out. He said, wait a minute, this isn't in everybody's everyday homes yet.
Yeah.
Or not even yet. You just brought something over here to show us, but you don't have those in every home, and you didn't.
Yeah, called him out on his BS. And
yeah.
Well, that is interesting. That's hilarious. Why are we always flexing on others? Like those who have nothing to show brag the loudest. So, 1961, beginning of a trend. A U.S. commercial plane is hijacked to Cuba. Ooh, yeah. Beginning of a trend. Oh, that's not a funny trend, but...
No. Yeah, I remember when that was hijacked to Cuba.
Yikes. Let's see here. 1965, John Kander and Fred Ebb's musical Flora, The Red Menace. Their first collaboration starred Liza Minnelli in the age of 19. In her Broadway debut, closed at Alvin Theater in New York City after 87 performances and a Tony Award for Lisa. All right, that's not that many performances, but they got an award, so that says something. We also have Long Live Free Quebec, 1967. Charles de Gaulle said, "Vive le Québec libre," which is Long Live Free Quebec, for those who don't speak Chicois. Got another event of interest here. 1967, the first modern hospice, St. Christopher's, was founded by Dr. Cicely Saunders in London, beginning a modern palliative care and the hospice movement. All right. So yeah, hospice, that's a word that I know too well. 1968, Hoyt Willem pitches in a record 907th Major League game-breaking Cy Young record for pitching appearances. All right. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's right, Cy Young, the guy who looks like he has a 12-year-old's haircut. See, what is with it? It's so short. I
don't know.
He looks like Alfalfa without the blingy,
He does.
Seriously.
Yeah, he does. That must have been the hairstyle on the day.
1969, at 12:51 Eastern, or EDT, whatever, Apollo 11 returned to Earth after taking the first astronauts to the moon and returning them safely.
Yep.
So, welcome home.
Mind-blowing. Sitting there in my apartment at the time, looking at this on TV, seeing the guy actually step out onto the moon, and you're watching it on your TV. Could not believe it.
Yeah. Well,
that you're looking at it. Not only that it was done for the first time, but you're sitting there looking at the thing.
And a lot of speculation, conspiracies have come out since.
Yep.
We spoke about this.
Yeah, many times.
Now, I just want to reiterate. Half of me at least believes that maybe we did get to the moon, but all the footage was erased by the radiation, and they had to stage it back on Earth. But it did happen. That's what I believe would be between that and outright faking it. Those two share the same spot as far as possibilities in my eyes. I try to be as open-minded and fluid as possible with my opinions. So, not that I don't have any, strong opinions myself. I just
can't imagine that being the case either one. Only because there's so many people tracking that, the whole flight, the whole thing, and to get a privacy of showing it nationwide in real time, I don't see how they could pull it off.
Well, I can provide a few examples, but maybe we'll talk about that in this upcoming Peanut. Let's move on up here. 1974, Death Wish, based on the novel by Brian Garfield, directed by Michael Winner, and starring Charles Bronson, was released in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know about Death Wish? I
don't, but I know Charles Bronson.
All right.
Tough guy actor.
1975, Giorgio Armani and Sergio Galiletti founded Giorgio Armani SPA in Milan, Italy. Very, very affluent fashion.
Upper end, yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1976, John Naber was the first to swim 200-meter backstroke in under 2 minutes. All right. It's pretty cool. 1978, Billy Martin resigned as a Yankee manager after quote, one is a born liar and the other a convicted one, end quote, comment about Steinbrenner and Jackson.
God.
All right. Got some more baseball history here. 1979, Boston Red Sox Carl
Yastrzemski.
That one. Hit his 400th home run. Okay.
Carl Yastrzemski, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything. 1982, heavy rain caused a land mudslide that destroyed a bridge at Nagasaki, Japan, killing 299. Yikes! Remember that from yesterday? Land mudslide and all that.
Yeah.
Like a mud landslide, like a liquid landslide, like called a mud. I don't remember what they said.
Nagasaki's famous for, right?
Yeah, getting nuked.
Second one to be hit. Yeah.
Yep. Which, like, I know I've talked to you, and it's becoming a more known story, but there was a guy who worked in Hiroshima, and he, he didn't, suffer a lot of radiation. He was there when they got hit, but he was, on the outskirts or something, wherever he was, all right? And he got on a train to go home, which was in Nagasaki.
Oh, wow.
And he got there, and he saw it again. He saw both go up.
God.
And survived.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah. He saw more nuclear explosions than the creator, Oppenheimer himself. He only saw one. That's insane. That is incredible. Which we're gonna go watch Oppenheimer this weekend, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. 1984, Careless Whisper single released by George Michael, credited in the U.S. to Wham! Billboard Song of the Year in 1985. Is that one?
Way you're humming it, I can't identify it. But yeah.
I don't know.
Wham! I know, and he's one of the two guys from Wham. Yeah.
1 year later, 1985, the French DGSE officers Dominique Perrier and Alain Marfat were arrested and charged with murder over the bombing of the Rainbow Warrior. Yeah, the Rainbow Warrior is some kind of ecological awareness boat or something one of these save the trees, things, and then it got bombed or something, or blew up, or it got I don't remember. Well, bombing. So, and people died.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not good.
Awful stuff. While that was happening, Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi signed a peace accord with Sikh leader Harshad Singh Longawi to settle the 3-year Punjab crisis. All right, good. I don't know what the Punjab crisis is. But I'm getting aggressively hungry, so I'm going to try to, a little bit speed through the show here real quick. So if anybody wants to let us know what the Punjab crisis was in the comments, please do so. We also have 1990, U.S. warships in Persian Gulf placed on alert after Iraq massed nearly 30,000 troops near its border with Kuwait. That's a yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mobilized 30,000 troops on the border. Yeah, I think we might be going into a war. Yeah, anyway, what else do we have? Sports, whatever, yada. Oh, here we go. We just saw this for the other day, Alice and I. 1998, Saving Private Ryan. Directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Tom Hanks, Edward Burns, and Matt Damon. Also has Vin Diesel in his premiere role. I think it's his first actual big production movie role. Vin Diesel, who went on to be the guy in the Fast and Furious series, which is still going on. They're at 20 now. It's wild. It's almost growing as fast as the MCU. It's nuts. Anyway, the Saving Private Ryan was released and later received the Academy Awards Best Director in 1999. That's a really good movie.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. And
excellent movie.
And after that, there was Band of Brothers. The whole series. Yeah. Well, Tom Hanks had his thumb directly on that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, he was directly involved with that. And after that, the Pacific.
Series?
Yeah, it was a miniseries. The Band of Brothers is about the 101st Airborne Easy Company.
He wasn't in it.
He wasn't in it. No, he was behind it.
Okay.
No, he was like the guy. Like he basically like created it
Okay.
or something, or like I don't know, but like he wanted realism, in Saving Private Ryan. Like we've had this discussion where they actually had like for the screening, like because Tom Hanks, he didn't want any of the Hollywood crap. He wanted it to be real, to pay homage and to respect these people who fought, and a lot of them died, for the world we used to have, not the world we have today.
I understand for Saving Private Ryan, they took the main characters, and I don't know if they
put them through boot camp. Yes, it is true.
It was, I don't know if it was boot camp or just some kind of military activity. Whatever it was fairly intense to get them.
It was like a
mindset.
several week-long course. It was straight up boot camp. Like they
okay.
trained them like legit soldiers, and they formed a bond.
Yeah.
So, but like no, method actors are the greatest actors. But no, like the point I'm trying to make is they struck the realism chord so hard that when they first premiered this, did a screening before it was released, a lot of the people in the audience they had brought in were World War II veterans.
Ooh.
And some of them had landed in Normandy. Some of them had landed on Omaha. And a lot of them had to excuse themselves because it brought them right back. It was like a PTSD, with a PTSD. Because not only are they triggered, but they're visually seeing that. It's not just in the mind, it's outside.
Yeah.
And they're reliving back that day. That must have been nightmarish.
Oh, jeez.
So,
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. But then he continued, with that trend, complete realism stuff with Band of Brothers. The story about, once again, the Normandy invasion leading up through the end of the Second World War in the European theater, following, Easy Company in the 101st Airborne Division. And then later on, they made the Pacific, which I have yet to really fully watch. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, but it's about the Marines over in the Pacific theater fighting Japan.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Once again, backed by Tom Hanks and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyway, let's get back on track here. What do we got here? 2001, Simon Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, the last Tsar of Bulgaria, when he was a child, was sworn in as a Prime Minister of Bulgaria, becoming the first monarch in history to regain political power through democratic election to a different office. That is wild.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. 2002, James Traficant was expelled from the United States House of Representatives on a vote of 420 to 1. I wonder who that one was. Nobody liked him. Goodbye.
He probably voted against it.
Yeah. 420
He's
to
the one.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Yeah.
2002, on the 200th anniversary of his birth, French author Alexandre Dumas, the author of Three Musketeers, to name a few, his ashes were interred in the Pantheon in Paris in a televised ceremony.
Jeez.
Now, interesting thing about Alexandre Dumas, you've ever seen Django Unchained? I think you have. About the slave, and he got bought, he got freed, and he went and rescued.
No, I have not seen it. No.
Okay, well, there's a scene. We gotta see it. This is a good movie. There's a scene where Leonardo DiCaprio's character Calvin Candy, who is a slave owner, a prominent slave owner, the slave owner in the county, he's the guy. He drops the N-word, he's clearly racist by today's standards and all that stuff. But he was talking with this, I forgot the actor's name, but this other guy is playing Dr. Schultz. Not the foot guy. This guy's another doctor. He's a dentist. But something about one of Alexander Dumas's book. Calvin Candy was praising it or whatever, and then Dr. Schultz is like, Alexander Dumas was black. You're sitting here and you're talking down about black people, yet you're praising one of their books. You're uneducated. 2003, Ringo Starr's 8th All-Star Band debuted in concert. Members included Colin Hay, Paul Korak, John White, Shiley E., and Mark Rivera. We gotta watch Django Unchained. We really do. That is a good movie. My God.
Okay.
Let's see here. What else do we have? 2009, FINA Congress voted to ban all body-length swimsuits, men's suits to maximally cover from the waist to knee, and women's from shoulder to knee. Fabric must be of a textile or woven material, effective January 1st, 2010. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. FINA, what is FINA? Hold on a second. Let's look
Gotta
this
be a
up.
swimming organization.
FINA.
Probably runs the Olympics or something.
FINA. World Aquatics. Formerly known as FINA. So they've since switched. So they're no longer FINA. Okay, well, is it going to tell me what does FINA mean in swimming? Oh, the Fédération Internationale des Nations. Okay, so it's French.
Okay.
What else do we have here? Historical publication, 2012. Daniel Steele's novel Friend Forever, a novel, was published. Daniel Steele, I've heard that name a couple times, advertising her books. Yeah. 2012, oh my god. 4 barrels containing 248 human fetuses are found in Severodvinsk, Russia. Why?
Oh, jeez.
Why?
Abortions, obviously.
But what the? But why not just? Why are they in barrels? Why are they not just thrown away or something? But that's wild. I don't advocate throwing them away. I don't advocate any of this. It's just weird. Why are they in barrels? Why are they not I don't know.
But you don't know if it was accumulated in a day, and
Yikes!
You don't know.
Yikes!
You're just seeing this out of context.
Yikes!
It's bad enough.
All right. Well, let's get out of something bad into something less bad. 2013, 22 are left dead after a conflict between the Knights Templar cartel and Mexican police in Michoacán. Whoa.
Jeez.
The Knights Templar cartel. Wow.
Huh.
At first I was just like, wow, these guys are still around. It's like, oh no, they're a cartel. They stole the name.
Yeah.
Okay. 2015, U.S. President Barack Obama began a historic 2-day visit to Kenya. Oh, he went back home. Cool. What else do we have here? 2016, George Wolfe's musical Shuffle Along, or the making of the musical sensation of 1921 and all that followed. That's a mouthy name. Based on U.B. Blake and Nobel Sissle's original review, and featuring Audra McDonald and Billy Porter, closed at the Music Box Theater, New York, after 100 performances. That is a long article for just 100 performances.
Yeah. Yeah.
2017, Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner said he did not collude with Russia after meeting with Senate investigators. They're just constantly attacking Japan. Oh, you colluded with Russia. Yet nobody talks about what Hillary did.
No.
No. Sold half of our uranium deposits that we will mine up to Russia? Not a peep. Of course. Talk about colluding with Russia. There you go. What else do we also have? Just suicide bomber. This is good. 2018, the first bison born in Banff National Park, Alberta, Canada, in 140 years after being reintroduced. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We almost eradicated them. That's wild. 2018 as well, singer Demi Lovato was hospitalized after a drug overdose in Los Angeles. Why is that highlighted? Why do we care?
Yeah.
You want to have it as an article. Okay, cool. But why is it highlighted? There's other things that are more.
Sure, she would
Why is that highlighted and not the first bison? What the hell?
I can't imagine she would want it highlighted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Poor girl. 2019, 19-year-old Hungarian swimmer Christoph Milak broke Michael Phelps' 10-year-old 200-meter butterfly world record at the World Championships in Guangzhou, South Korea. Swam a minute 50.73 seconds, 0.78 seconds faster than Phelps. All right.
He is 10-year-old. That's a long time for a world record to stand.
Oh, yeah. Plus, this guy was 19, while Michael Phelps did it probably, what was he, in his 20s?
I'm sure he was, yeah.
He wasn't 19, I don't think. And then while that was happening in 2019 as well, Facebook agreed to pay $5 billion fine, largest ever for violating consumer privacy, to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission. Yeah, but did they pay it?
Well, true.
They agreed to do it, but did they pay it? Then it says, global warming is the fastest in 2,000 years, and scientific consensus that humans are the cause, 99%, according to 3 major reports published in journals Nature and Nature Geoscience. Propaganda. 2019 as well, new UK PM Boris Johnson drastically reshaped cabinet in his first day in office, appointing Dominic Raab as Foreign Secretary, Petri Patel as Home Secretary, and Sajid Javid as Chancellor. All right. Now we're going from, the British, knockoff disheveled Trump to actual Trump. 2019 as well. Special Counsel Robert Mueller, the Mueller report, here we go, reports to the U.S. Senate that President Trump was not exonerated of obstruction of justice and that Russia interfered in U.S. election to benefit Trump. BS! BS, 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 BS. Propaganda. 2022, just last year, over 1,100 refugees rescued in separate operations across the Mediterranean in a few days by Coast Guards and charities, with 5 bodies recovered. Yikes. A lot of people escaping things. Yeah. 2022 as well, Pope Francis arrived in Edmonton, Canada to begin a penitential trip to meet with and apologize to First Nation, Métis, and Inuit communities for their treatment at church-run residential schools. Dang, the Pope came in.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty cool and serious. We also have 2022 singer-songwriter icon Joni Mitchell made a surprise concert appearance, joining Brandi Carlile at Newport Folk Festival, Michelle's first public performance in 19 years.
Oh.
All right. And last but not least, just last year as well, a wild monkey attacked on at least 42 people, including in their homes, in Yamaguchi City, Japan, led police to be armed with tranquilizer guns. Wow. Rise of the Planet of the Apes much?
Yeah.
But anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but unlimited to all things Omni Coalition. Go check out our link tree. We are everywhere. And for anywhere we're not going to be, we will be. For all of you and all of us, actually for you, Dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 11 Pacific Time, 11 in the morning, which is 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all you and all of us, I'm Eo Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you are you. Until you catch us tomorrow, we only have one show today? Yeah. So until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Yeah.